Hello everyone, welcome back to Sydney and Starlet, and if you're new here,
What the?
welcome, enjoy the
videos.
So today me and Sydney are going to be reading Disney, Our Hero, Scamp. So let's begin. Be careful, Scamp, called Lady, as she watched her son dash across the yard. Don't bounce the ball too hard. All right, the great puppy answered. Scamp bounced the ball to his sisters. Catch, he shouted. The sisters liked playing ball in the garden. It was fun, safe, and he never got dirty. But Scamp grew tired of the game. Can we go to the park? He asked his father, Tramp. I can't take you today, Tramp replied. Can I go by myself? Scamp asked. Tramp had lived on the streets before he had met Lady. He understood how his son felt, and the park wasn't very far away. All right, said Tramp finally. You can go for a quick run in the park, but don't go anywhere else. I won't, promised Scamp. Scamp bounded out of the yard and into the street. There was so much to see. He stopped to watch two cars honking and beeping at one another. He thought about chasing the cars, but he remembered his promise to his father. So Scamp continued down the street to the park, but as he passed an alley, he heard someone call for help. Scamp peeked down the alley. He saw a pack of large dogs snarling at a little white puppy. The frightened puppy was backed up against a fence. She couldn't escape. Brave Scamp knew he had to help her, but how? He certainly couldn't fight the other dogs the way his father could. Then Scamp had an idea. Scamp carefully crept behind a trash can and pushed it over. Clang, clonk, crash! His trick worked. The noise frightened the big dogs away. Unfortunately, Scamp had also made a big mess. Empty tin cans, apple cores, and even a black mask with some gloves were spread all over the ground. But Scamp couldn't worry about a mess at the moment. He turned to the fluffy poodle, who was shivering with fear. Don't be frightened, Scamp said. I'm your friend. The poodle smiled at Scamp. Thanks. My name is Princess, she said, and you're my hero. Scamp liked being someone's hero. Why were those dogs bothering you? Asked Scamp. Because they wanted this, said Princess, pulling something out from behind a box. Wow! Scamp's eyes widened. In front of him was the biggest bone he had ever seen. Would you like to share it with me? Princess offered generously. Sure, Scamp replied, licking his lips. I haven't had dinner yet. But before they could taste the delicious-looking bone, the two puppies were startled by a sudden noise. Someone was coming down the alley. Those horrible dogs must be coming back, Princess whispered. Quick, hide, ordered Scamp. The two puppies huddled behind some boxes as the noise grew louder. Scamp promised, no matter what happens, I'll protect you, Princess. Then he peeked over the box to see what was causing the noise. It wasn't the dogs at all. It was the police. Princess was relieved, but Scamp was worried. The police were looking at the mess he had made in the alley. Scamp was afraid that he and Princess would be taken to the dog pound if the police caught them. His parents would be angry, and they wouldn't trust Scamp to go out on his own again. Come on, Scamp whispered to Princess. Let's go. While the police were busy examining the black mask and gloves, the two dogs sneaked away with the big bone. As soon as they were out of the alley, they began to run. Scamp and Princess raced down a steep hill. It was hard for Scamp to run with such a big bone. It felt heavier and heavier with every step. Finally, he had to drop the heavy bone. It landed on a manhole cover. Suddenly, a worker opened the manhole cover from below. The bone began to roll down the hill. Scamp quickly retrieved the bone. He thought about his promise to his parents. Let's go to the park. It should be safe there, Scamp said to Princess. When they got to the park, Scamp put the bone down in a big pile of leaves. Let's have a drink from the pond before we eat this, Scamp said. The bone will be safe here. But when they got back, Scamp saw that it had been swept away by the gardener, who was raking up leaves. Scamp sprang into action. "Give it back," he barked. Scamp dived straight into the pile of leaves. "I know it's in here somewhere," Scamp growled. The leaves tickled his nose as he searched the pile, trying to find the bone. "Hey, stop that!" the gardener scolded. But before the gardener could grab him, Scamp found the bone, and he and Princess raced away once again. They ran back to the street. "I'm never putting this down again," said Scamp. Achoo! The bone went flying through the air. "Bless you," said Princess as she watched the bone sail straight through the open door of a waiting bus. "Stop!" Scamp barked at the bus, but the bus closed its door in its face and drove away. By now, Scamp had forgotten all about his promise to his parents. He just wanted to get Princess's bone back. The two dogs ran behind the bus, yapping as loudly as they could. "Woof, woof, woof," they called. When the bus stopped, Scamp jumped on board. The bus driver held out its hand. "Could I have your fare, please?" he asked Scamp politely. The passengers laughed, but Scamp didn't care. He quickly grabbed the big bone and leaped off the bus before it drove away again. Scamp and Princess once again headed for the park. "At last, we can eat this bone," Princess said. But she had spoken too soon. For not too far away, Scamp spotted a stern-looking police dog. "He seems to be looking for something. Maybe he's looking for us because of the mess I made in the alley. Let's get out of here," Scamp whispered urgently to Princess. Scamp and Princess ran to the other side of the park. Unfortunately, the big dogs that had chased Princess earlier were there. They still wanted the bone. "Run!" shouted Princess. But as Scamp tried to get the huge bone through the gate, it got stuck. Scamp was trapped. Scamp closed his eyes. He was sure the big dogs were going to take the bone. But when he opened them, the big dogs had left. Instead, the police dog was towering over him. "What's going on here?" demanded the police dog. Meanwhile, back at the house, Lady and Tramp were worried because Scamp had been gone for so long. "He should have been home by now," said Lady, looking troubled as she peered out of the gate. "I think we should go out and look for him," Tramp decided firmly. He hoped that his son wasn't in any trouble. But trouble was exactly what Scamp thought he was in. The puppy knew that he must tell the police dog the truth. "I made all that mess in the alley," Scamp confessed courageously. "But he did it for a good reason," insisted Princess, standing up for her friend. "He did it to save me." Then she added, "and my bone." Said the police dog gruffly. "Kindly stand back and allow me to examine the evidence." The police dog sniffed and inspected each and every inch of the big bone. "Yes, I think this is it," he announced. He could see that Scamp and Princess were confused. "Let me explain," he began. "Last night, there was a robbery at the museum," the police dog said. A witness to the crime has told the police that the thief wore gloves and a black mask. "I saw gloves and a mask," Scamp said excitedly. "That's what the police were looking at today." "But what did the thief take?" wondered Princess. "Recently, the museum obtained a complete dinosaur skeleton. The thief broke into the display room and stole a priceless dinosaur bone," the police dog finished. "Just like our bone," said Princess, trying to be helpful. "Exactly like your bone," growled the police dog. "Where did you get it?" he quizzed them. Princess was cross that the police dog thought they might be the thieves. "I didn't steal it," insisted Princess as she stamped her paw adamantly, however you say that. "I found it in the alley." Maybe the real thief hid it there, added Scamp. The police dog looked at the two puppies. Please come with me, he barked. At that moment, Lady and Tramp were looking anxiously for Scamp out on the busy streets. Lady and Tramp searched the park, but Scamp wasn't there. Then they went to the pond where Scamp loved to chase the ducks, but Scamp wasn't there. They even went to Tony's restaurant, but Scamp wasn't there either. Lady burst into tears. Oh, where can our Scamp be? She sobbed. Tramp knew that there was only one place left to look, the dog pound. Together, the two dogs headed for the dog pound. I just hope Scamp isn't in any trouble, Lady whispered. But before they entered the dog pound, they heard something shout, Scamp! Tramp froze in his tracks. What's that? He wondered. They saw a crowd of excited people at the museum down the street. They heard someone call to Scamp again. Our Scamp! Lady cried as she and Tramp tried to push their way through the crowd. Lady and Tramp soon spotted their son. Tramp was puzzled. What's Scamp doing at the museum? And with the police dog by his side, said Lady. Now she was really worried that he might be in trouble. Scamp saw his parents and raced over to them. I'm so happy to see you, he said, laughing. What's going on here? Tramp wondered. Scamp said, I can explain everything, but first, I want you to meet my new friend, Princess. Your son's a hero. He saved me, Princess told them. Lady smiled at Princess and turned to Scamp. Why didn't you come home from the park? I'm sorry I broke my promise, Scamp apologized, but I had to help the police clear up a robbery first. Lady and Tramp watched as people took photos of Scamp, Princess, and the big bone. Oh, I'm so proud that our son has helped the police, said Lady. Proud, answered Tramp truthfully. I'm amazed. Our Scamp isn't a troublemaker. Our Scamp is a hero. Suddenly, the head of the museum announced loudly, and now our heroes will put the stolen bone back where it belongs. Scamp and Princess put the bone in exactly the right spot. It fit the dinosaur skeleton perfectly. It's just like putting the last piece in a giant jigsaw puzzle, Scamp said, chuckling. And to thank our little heroes, we've prepared a little feast. The head of the museum motioned to a long table with a flourish. Scamp licked his lips. He had never seen so much delicious food all at once. And at last, there were stacks of bones for him and Princess to eat. Yum, yum, Scamp shouted joyfully. Bon appetit! Scamp, Princess, and everyone else quickly dug into the incredible banquet. This more than makes up for the big bone that we didn't get to eat, said Princess gratefully. Scamp was thrilled that he was able to help the police and the museum. And also, he had made a new friend, Princess. The end. So that is it for today, everyone. We really hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Pick out your favorite page. Who's your favorite character?
What?
Tramp. All right. Bye-bye.
What?
Oh, Scamp? That's Scamp.
Good.
Scamp. Bye-bye.